Hello, my name is Tara Sklar. I'm a professor of health law and the director of the Health Law and Policy Program at Arizona Law. And it is my pleasure to speak with Lia Chen today. She is a current LLM student taking health law classes, specifically the Graduate Certificate in Regulatory Science. And we thought this would be a great opportunity to hear about her experience in the program, how it relates to the work she's been doing in her LLM, and her plans for after graduation. So Lia, welcome. And hi, and we'd love to hear about you and why you chose this program and your experiences in it.
Hi everyone, my name is Lia. I'm a current LLM student of James E. Rogers College of Law, the University of Arizona. So the Law College provides the master's degree for foreign lawyer. So I am a lawyer in Taiwan. So this program also provided a chance to have a health laws concentration. So therefore, I'm now taking my last course for the graduate certificate for regulatory science.
That's great. And what has your experience been in that program so far, especially, working with lawyers, but also those outside of law?
Well, for that part, I would like to mention about my background that I used to work in a medical device startup as a corporate legal. Since we have a little budget, so I have to work at the same time corporate legal, but also responsible for the regulatory part. At that time, I was not well trained for the regulatory science part, and I only have some experience on malpractice litigation and some translational pathway on medical device. So at that time, I was lack of comprehensive knowledge for the regulatory science, and when I was discussing some very technical issues with the research and development team, I feel quite helpless, honestly. And when the boss asked me to design an informed consent sheet, I was totally lost. And not to mention those very detailed standards and regulations for the pre-market approval application for the medical device. Yes. So when I learned there's a chance that I can earn my master's degree and I can also focus on health law at the same time, I did not hesitate a lot at all to choose this program.
That's great. And I remember you mentioning that you are taking the regulatory science certificate. You're nearly done with it, but you also, and we offer this in the program, the chance for students to take health law courses outside of the individual tracks. And would love to hear about your experience in taking a course that we counted towards the certificate in your LLM that was a substitute for one of the regulatory science classes.
So right now, I'm taking the drug discovery, development, and innovation to reach the marketplace. It is a course very beginner-friendly for students. Never ever have any background knowledge for drugs, for science. Even I'm purely a law student. I have no science background. I could understand it very well. And I learned a lot from the discussion between students. We have a math student. We have a student from pharmacy. We have some practicing health professionals from the industry and also from hospital institutions. And it is very, very interesting to have dialogue and discuss with them. And they oftenly provide very cutting-edge opinion. And it is very different from the legal perspective. And I think that's a very unique chance to have such a platform to talk with the practitioner that it is very helping and benefits a lot. It is not limited to the academic part, but also we're really learning what's happening in the real world.
I'm so glad that's been your experience. That course you mentioned is a collaboration we have with the Critical Path Institute, and they aren't lawyers, they're scientists that work with the FDA and other regulators. So we're hoping they would provide that experience for you and for the students. And then I remember you mentioning another course that's actually taught by a lawyer, but she's at the College of Pharmacy. And I'd love to hear your experience in that course as well.
Yes, I'm very glad that this program not only limited you in the regulatory part, but also you can take another one course that is offered other than your original course. So I took the liability and regulation for health professionals this summer, and the professor is teaching us about the liability and regulations for the not only physician, but also nurses and physician assistants. And I happened to have had a chance to assist the professor in Taiwan. She's doing a research in the medical negligence and malpractice for nurses. She's studying in the standard of care. So it's so lucky I can provide what I just learned from this program and applying this knowledge to assist my professor in Taiwan. That's very interesting because it is an international comparative legal study.
So, Lia, you mentioned in the beginning you worked with medical devices, but now that you're nearly done with this program, how has it changed your career pathway?
It is interesting that when I started this program, I focused more about the medical device part, but actually I learned more about the drugs. And I feel like I'm jumping out of my comfort zone because I used to limit myself. But right now, after I graduate, I have more job opportunities. I don't need to limit my career in medical device, but I can also develop to some drugs company, pharmacies, and that helps a lot.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. We really appreciate your enthusiasm for the program. Love hearing about how it's helped you during your LLM program and how you see it helping you as an alumna at College of Law. So thank you.
Thank you so much.